This morning I want to talk to you about the egg and how an egg is formed inside the hen. When a hen is born, she has many tiny little yolks inside her ovary. When she's about 16 weeks old, these yolks start to develop into full-size yolks that will become eggs. When one is full-size, now here's a store-bought egg, doesn't have any of the things that needed to be in it to become a chick like what we have in our incubator. This is the yolk, and in a cooked egg, this yellow portion is the yolk. When the yolk gets to the full-sized, it goes from the ovary down through this funnel-shaped duct to what's called the magnum. In the magnum, the second part of the egg develops. This white portion that you see when we hard boil an egg is actually this clear albumin. Now the albumin takes about 3 hours to develop. After the yolk is surrounded by the albumin, it travels through the isthmus. And in the isthmus, a membrane forms around the yolk and the albumin. If you've ever peeled an egg like I did this morning after I hard boiled this one, have you seen like this membrane? Here's a good place for it. Just that sort of film that's on the inside of the eggshell and around the egg. You can usually just peel it off like a sheet. This membrane is formed in the isthmus, and that's when the egg first takes its shape that we recognize. That membrane is what holds all the parts of the inside of the egg together. Now, that takes about an hour and a quarter for the membrane to form around the egg, and then the egg travels to the shell gland. And you can see that the shell is formed over top of that membrane. The shell is actually made out of calcium, same thing that makes up most of our bones. That calcium is deposited over a period of about 20 hours. While it's in the shell gland, if the breed of chicken lays eggs that are colored, that color will also be deposited on the shell. Just before it leaves the shell gland, a coating is put on the egg called the bloom, and that coating protects the eggs from bacteria and helps it stay clean inside. The egg is then laid through the vent. Chickens have one place that everything comes out of them, and that's called the vent. This process takes anywhere from 24 to 26 hours. Most hens lay an egg every 25 hours. So if a hen starts laying eggs at 9 o'clock in the morning, the next day she'll lay one egg at 9 o'clock in the morning.